So you want to get ahead, huh? You need to get past those people that are slowing you down. Well, I'm going to tell you how to do that safely. There are only two things that will encompass the entirety of every overtake. How much power you have and your vision. In this video, I'm going to be doing a number of examples in POV with this car limited to 500 horsepower, 200 horsepower, just to give direct examples for how you should be thinking about these overtakes and planning for them with certain amounts of horsepower. I'm also going to take you down some country lanes, we're going to do some overtakes, and I'm going to show you the types of things to be thinking about as far as your vision goes and planning for your overtake. Once you've got these two things down, you'll be absolutely fine for every overtake imaginable. If it's not your first time on this channel, maybe subscribe. If you're a car guy and you don't have an OBD reader, what are you even doing? You should probably grab yourself an OBD11. OBD11 is compatible with the Volkswagen Auto Group, BMW, and the Toyota Group, anything from 2008 up. It's super easy to use. All you do is you open up the OBD211 app. We're going to hit scan. It's actually found one fault. Let's find out what's wrong with my car. So I've got a sound amplifier fault. All right, then let's clear that. And no more faults have been detected. So one feature that I don't love on this car is when you put it in reverse, it doesn't actually dip the rear view mirror. We can set the mirror dip adjustment to a very deep dip, and we can actually see when I put the car in reverse, the mirror dips. And OBD11 is absolutely full of those. Seatbelt acoustic warning, having the car to default to sport mode, allowing you to play videos in the screen. And these are all one-click apps. So I'm a real YouTuber now because I have a discount code. I want you all to go and check out OBD11 and use discount code MIC. That will get you 10% off your purchase. Share that with your family and friends. Go buy your dad an OBD reader. Right then, let's get into the video. So a few things to think about when it comes to both vision and power. First of all, vision. Vision encompasses a lot of different things. It encompasses the entire situation. It's not just how far down the road you can see. It's also, is there a corner coming up? Are you in an area where it might not be appropriate to do an overtake, like if there's going to be cyclists, if there's going to be pedestrians, and that list is not exhaustive. There might be shops on the side of the road, there might be junctions like this one right here. All of this stuff is encompassed within vision. The dip on that road there is encompassed in vision. You wouldn't want to overtake right now because the dip is restricting your visibility. Vision is not just how far you can see. It encompasses a lot of different things. Now, power is relatively straightforward. I've got the power graph up here. The key one to look at is this one right here. This is the one that shows you how much horsepower I'm currently using. Towards the start of this video, we're going to do easy mode, which is I'm just going to use all the power the car has, which is roughly 500 horsepower. And then we're going to knock it back a little bit. Also, when talking about the amount of power you have for these overtakes, this is all assuming you're in the correct gear. If you've got 200 horsepower and you're trying to do an overtake at 40 miles an hour and you're in 6th gear, you're doing something wrong, so maybe don't do that. Another important thing to mention for overtakes is the speed limit. How far away from the speed limit is the car in front of you? This guy's about 10 mile an hour off. I think that's a bit annoying, but my speed differential when I overtake him is only going to be 10 miles an hour, maybe 15 miles an hour. So I've really got to think about this overtake and whether it's appropriate. All of these things coalesce together to help you with your decision making on whether you should or shouldn't overtake. Because that's the first thing you've got to think about when it comes to overtakes. Is this even a viable overtake? Okay, enough preaching. Let's get into some actual examples of overtaking and how I'm thinking about these situations. I've purposefully chosen to do this on quite a tight road because it's worst case scenario for making overtakes. Okay, we have our first victim. What's the issue here? He's going very slowly, but there's no visibility because of the corner. So as soon as it opens up, unfortunately, that wasn't the opportunity. Now, I've got 500 horsepower. I could probably make this. Still, I mean, this is no opportunity whatsoever. Got lots of corners. We're just waiting for a gap to open up. That's enough visibility for me. Easy. Now, I may have ever so slightly broken the speed limit there, but it's safer to do that and complete the overtake. If you're gonna go for it, you've just gotta go for it. You could, I mean, if you're trying to be 100% correct, you could lift off at 60, but you're gonna slow your overtake down. It's not a good idea. We've got a double overtake situation here. So what we're waiting for is a big amount of visibility, and we're gonna use all our power here. That is a ton of visibility. We're gonna take it. I'm just gonna slow down because there's a little corner here. And we've made the overtake. I would call that one scuffed. And this is a learning point. My car is very wide. It's almost 2 meters wide. So when you're overtaking a bus, the thing that I didn't think about there was just a little curve in the road. And because there's a little curve in the road, the bus was ever so slightly over the white line. Now, because of the lack of space, I had to slow down to make sure I fit through. I would call that a poor overtake. And I'm gonna leave that in the video for you guys as an example of what not to do. Had a car come round the corner, I think we would have still been absolutely fine. Once again, I got 500 horsepower, so it's easy to get yourself out of sticky situations. So I've got a perfect example. This is quite an easy one. I was coming into a corner, I didn't have visibility, and now there's a car coming other way, so I don't have visibility. This guy's going really slowly, so I don't need a huge differential. I think that's enough for me. The visibility was not good, but because he was going so slowly, it's absolutely fine. Now we have another situation. Let's see if the visibility works out for us here, just over this hill. Perfect. See, with 500 horsepower, it's very easy. So another cyclist. Once again, there's a corner, so there's no visibility. This is not a good overtake. As soon as it opens up, we've got loads of visibility. We're absolutely fine. Also, where you can, a nice tip is to keep your momentum up. It can be hard to do sometimes if you've seen the obstacle or the other driver a little bit late. But if you can and you've got the visibility to keep your momentum, it makes your overtake a lot easier, especially if you don't have much power. Now, let's take this up a notch, and what I'm going to do now is demonstrate some overtakes and only use 200 of my available horsepower. We're going to have to plan for these very, very differently. So we're going to wait for a good amount of visibility. This is a 500 horsepower overtake spot. Every day of the week, no problem whatsoever. 200, different situation. This is also a 500 horsepower overtake spot. Having more power just makes these situations so much easier. You just squeeze and you're past. It's no drama. Good amount of visibility here. I'm gonna go for it. I think I used 170 or so there, and we're out. I do think it's a bit sketchier for sure. You definitely have to plan your overtakes a lot more when you've got less power. You have to look a longer way up the road. You need a bigger gap. There's an important point here as well. I'm filming a YouTube video and demonstrating how to think about overtakes, especially when there are junctions coming up or there's another car right ahead, which is just going to slow you down again anyway. There's no need for some of these overtakes. You really shouldn't do a lot of the overtakes that I've done today because they're pointless. But when you need to make an overtake, use the tips that I've given you in this video to make a good one. If you want to see some more videos with some more information, maybe check this one out. I'll tell you how to drive fast. It's a good one. You should probably click it. Alright, my name's Mick. I drive cars. Bye.